Imagine a world with no noise, no cities, no screens. Just sky, water, trees, animals, everything new, untouched, and alive. That's where this story begins. In the beginning, God created everything. Light and darkness, oceans and land, stars scattered across the sky, birds in the air, fish in the sea, animals walking the earth. And when the world was ready, God created humans. The first man was named Adam. Scripture says God formed him from the dust of the ground and breathed life into him. And suddenly Adam wasn't just dust, he was alive. He could see, he could feel, he could think. He was placed in a beautiful garden called Eden, a place full of trees, rivers, and peace. Adam wasn't just surviving there. He was living in harmony. He walked with God. He named the animals. He cared for the garden. But something was missing. God looked at Adam and said, "It is not good for man to be alone." So God created Eve, the first woman, from Adam's side. When Adam saw her, he recognized something deep and familiar. She wasn't just another creation, she was like him, a partner, a companion, someone to share life with. Together, Adam and Eve lived in Eden with freedom and trust. They could eat from any tree in the garden except one, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God gave them a simple instruction: enjoy everything, but don't eat from that tree. It wasn't about control, it was about trust. But one day, a serpent approached Eve. The serpent questioned God's words. Did God really say you can't eat from that tree? You won't die. You'll become like God, knowing good and evil. Eve looked at the fruit. It looked good, desirable, and she took a bite. Then she gave some to Adam, and he ate too. In that moment, something changed. They became aware of themselves, of each other, of their vulnerability. They felt shame. They hid when they heard God walking in the garden. The closeness they once felt was suddenly broken by fear. God called out, "Where are you?" Adam and Eve admitted what they had done. And while God still cared for them deeply, there were consequences. Life would no longer be effortless. Work would be hard. Pain and struggle would enter the world. And they would have to leave Eden. But this is important. God didn't abandon them. Even as they left the garden, God clothed them, cared for them, and continued his plan for humanity. The story of Adam and Eve isn't just about a mistake. It's about freedom, choice, and the beginning of the human story. It's about how love requires trust, how choices matter, and how, even when people fall short, God's story doesn't end there. From Adam and Eve came every generation that followed. Every story, every journey, every hope for restoration. And that's how humanity's story began, not in perfection that lasted forever, but in a world where grace would become necessary. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share.